final home game for a host of seniors. Talk about the game.
So we get our final home game versus Arizona State, and the process has already started. We've already, put this past Saturday's game behind us and moving our focus forward and focusing on the final 2 weeks, starting with Arizona State. Obviously, we understand where they sit, and the players are still, I'm going to say it every week, they're still engaged, they're still encouraged, and they're still hungry to put forth a winning effort. Obviously, we understand that Arizona State is playing really good defense, and they have a receiver who is stellar. They have some weapons in the backfield as far as running back, and their quarterback is a really good player. So, they've done some things early on that were impressive, and it's still going to be a competitive game. And what we got to do, we have to do a really good job of putting our players in the right situation, right position to be successful, so they can come away with a win this Saturday at home, for their finale and for senior day.
Questions?
Cory, can you address a little bit of the unique challenges that the Arizona State offense presents? And then also, I know you said you wanted to take more of a little bit of a hands-on approach with the defense. How you plan to approach that this year?
So, obviously, Arizona, they're going to be able to – they run the ball. Arizona State runs the ball well, So it's not going to be anything we haven't seen to this point. They're able to get the ball out on the perimeter there with their screen game, and they have a receiver, N'Keal Harry, who's pretty special, right, in the one-on-one matchup out there in the throw game. So, it's a potent offense, right? It poses a lot of threats. But, again, just like any offense that we faced spread in the Pac-12, what we have to do is we have to put our players to your question as far as being more hands-on with the defense. We got to put our players in situations to where they feel comfortable and can get lined up and execute the details of their assignment. So when I was saying that, when you watch something like that, right, and you see it 2 weeks in a row, starting with Cal, and then you saw it kind of, again, manifest itself in Arizona, it's kind of very telling. And so my role is just, again, a hard suggestion, right? And the thing is, we got to make sure we're doing what's best for our players. And it's not a question, it's a demand. And so that's what will happen. The players will be protected, and the players will be able to play football fast and effectively. It's kind of like what you saw versus Stanford. So they just got to now show up and make their plays.
Cory, you finally had 4 reasonably healthy cornerbacks out there Saturday. So how did that work? You feel better about your situation there, and all these guys can be back Saturday?
Well, it's funny you asked that question. It did. But, again, isn't it ironic that we have 4 healthy corners versus an Arizona team that couldn't really throw, And so now you go into a game where you need them, and then now you have Sean Wilson is questionable again, And so what is good is, Jay Irvine has been able to come back. He finished the full game. And, we'll see. We'll kind of monitor that as the week goes, just because, again, the nature of the game, right? It was more of a run primary game for him. So now he'll be challenged this week out there playing against the talented receiver core that Arizona State has. Isaiah Dunn has gained a lot of good experience with this season, being a true freshman. And then Kyle White, you hope that he comes in and he's able to contribute. He was able to finish the game there when after Jay Irvine received that personal foul. Kyle White was able to come in for, I believe, 10 or so plays. So now we're starting to get into somewhat of a healthy rotation at that position, and it couldn't come at a better time. I got to check on the status of Sean Wilson, but it couldn't come at a better time getting ready to prepare for Arizona State. So about that, I am pleased. Given the state of, the injury plague secondary in the past.
Is Hicks on to the next step? Do you have anybody else to go to besides those guys?
It will be Omar again, and then the other scenario would be Bright, right, moving out to nickel, and then going Shamar and Key Wetzel. So I mean, you have a few different things. I mean, and what it would do, which with what we're going to do, it shouldn't really affect anyone, right? Because now the main key focal point is getting the players to be able to line up and execute.